Hi everyone, this is Kovid back with another episode of Beyond the Code by Typo. Today with us we have a special guest who loves to organize meetups with Product Tank, with Tech Fellows. He loves to organize engineering podcast. He has 16 years of engineering and leadership experience. Currently he is serving as a senior engineering leader at Cisco. Welcome to the show, Lubo. Great to have you here.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me. I hope you will enjoy this episode.
Of course, we will. And I'm sure you would have a lot of things to share from your journey and your startup, then acquisition by Cisco. So we'll definitely enjoy this. But before we get started on that part, we would love to know you a little more. So if you're comfortable, can you just tell us about your hobbies? What do you like? Some life defining moments for you? That would be
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, perfect. When we're talking about my hobbies, I would say that my first hobby, programming. I think this is not a surprise. This was probably also kind of life-changing moment. So I was just 11, 12, teenager, and I got my first computer. At that time, it was 8-bit Atari XL, and I fall in love with this machine, not for games, but for the, let's say, possibility of creating the new stuff, programming stuff, and so on and so on. This was a very important moment for me. But another one, it was, I would say, and life-changing moment probably was when I was in a Swiss company, RSD, and my boss was a very good mentor. So
Okay.
this is something I probably never feel before or didn't have that experience when your manager or your leader is also a great mentor and helping you to grow. And this was very, very eye-opening for me, and it worked well. And about my hobbies, I like hiking. Usually in Slovakia, we have nice mountains, but also around the Europe, for example, Italy, Dolomites, Austria, very nice mountains. I like gardening, so it is also connecting to the nature, and I like to play in my small garden. And I'm proud father of 3 kids. It's not hobby, but it's something which defines me.
That's great. Thanks a lot for sharing that. And you mentioned that your mentor, your boss at one of your companies was a really, really good leader and he guided you well. Can you tell us more about that experience of yours?
Yeah. It was, I think, about 10 years ago or 12, I don't remember exactly. And I was switching my role from technical developer to manager or engineering leader. And what needs to be said, it is different role. It is not like evolution. So we go step by step. It is kind of different role to lead the people, manage the people. It's different than coding because
Right.
computers do what you want, but people are very different. And for me, it was very important to tell him that, okay, I'm kind of new to this. I would need help because otherwise it could be disaster. And he was very open. And what was important that he discussed a lot of with me, what he plans to do. He asked me a lot of questions how I would approach those problems, what needs to be done. But he also really comfort me. That, okay, well, this is good done, and he helped me to have focus on important stuff because at the beginning you cannot keep all balls in the air when you are juggling. Some of
Right.
them could fall, but he always we talk about it, and he always told me, okay, this is not important. Don't focus on it. It's okay. You are doing good. It could be better, but we need to. So he was very encouraging. And this is kind of quality. Usually, a lot of people kind of only criticize, but he was also very encouraging, very helpful, always for me. So this was very nice experience. And I think it really helped me to survive and grow as an engineering leader. Probably without him, I would I would go back to coding and engineering.
I think that that's a really great example. And when you find someone at that stage of your life when you're actually growing or making such transition and somebody guides you well, you tend to actually learn from them that trait and you yourself try to implement it. So I'm sure that today your team members who are looking up to you as a leader are sharing the same emotion and feeling.
I hope so, because I think I copy kind of this coaching or mentoring style of management. So I'm not very direct with my team. I usually talk to them, trying to find answers to the questions. So I'm not bringing the solution up front. I'm trying to help them to find it. And I try also coach them or mentor people around me to grow, not only as a team, but also grow as persons. So
Right.
it's very important
No,
for me, because if you have good people on the bus, it's perfect setup.
yeah, right. Absolutely. Great, Lubo. I think it's a really great start. And talking about compassionate leadership, empathetic leadership, I think is very important these days. So let's get started. Let's look into more of your journey as a tech person, as a tech leader. Your stint at Slido was quite long. You spent almost 6 years scaling that startup from 0 to 1, and then this acquisition also happened, and then you moved to Cisco. So this journey is quite interesting, at least from the outside.
Mhm.
You tell us about your role at different point of times and how you took the team from 0 to 50 members, and then how did this acquisition happen where now you are serving for Cisco as an engineering leader, how things have changed for you from Slider to here. I think
Mhm.
it's a big question to answer. You can take your time and let us know some
Yeah,
interesting facts from the story.
yeah. So I hope that it will be also interesting for the whole audience. But in general, I joined Slido, I think 7 years ago. At the time, it was promising, Slovak startup. There were around 40 people, but only five developers and two students. But at that time, it was like, yeah, this could be interesting, because they started to make some profit. And the Slido application, if you don't know, it's about the engagement on the meetings and conferences. So it's polling and questions and answer tool. So the presenter can communicate with the audience. The presenter can see the questions online. It's soft real time, or can poll again in soft real time manner. Audiences see results and so on and so on. And look, that this is an interesting niche at the time, and it could grow. And also the leader or CEO at the time, the Corning, decided that this is good time to scale the team and try to push more on also on engineering. And my role since then was the same. So build the world-class engineering and world-class products. So this was kind
Yeah.
of mission from the beginning. It's kind of cliche, of course, but this is usually the mission of
Yeah.
everyone in startup. You would like to build something great, but to build something great, you need very good or great people. So as I said, it's very important who is on the bus with you. And so my first role was to starting to hiring and together, let's say, a solid process. And there was two levels to this. So one thing was, let's say, kind of short term. So find the gaps in the team, double the position, so we are strong, and double the team, kind of in short time. But on the other hand, also think on, let's say, mid or so long term period, when we discussed that we should also build some awareness in the engineering community that we are good, because otherwise nobody knows. So I was focusing with the HR team on typical hiring. So looking for the people, prepare the process, stages, and all the stuff. But also we worked on some, let's say, engineering marketing or advocacy, how we call it. So we started to write some blogs, and we started to be more visible on meetups. Lately, we started to organize meetups. So today, I'm helping to organize the product meetups in Bratislava, engineering meetups in Bratislava. We started to be visible on conferences, because we believe that it's important in long term. Also, increase the awareness that we are here and we would like to build a great team. So this was at the beginning. Then In the next challenge, I would say was find a good structure for our teams and decided how we would like to work. What we put together also with product lead that we would like to have small teams because they are, in our point of view, most effective for what we need. So up to 8, 10 people, not bigger. And we would like to have cross-functional teams. So product parts, we call them discovery. So it's product manager, designer, later also user researcher, and then delivery part, which is tech lead, engineers, front end, back end, and tester. So it's kind of typical setup, but we experimenting, let's say, with size of the team, with roles, but at the end we find out that this is probably the best template for us how to create a team. We did, of course, few mistakes. Maybe the big mistake was, for example, starting the new teams from the scratch, because usually we lost the culture thing. And so therefore we decided that it's better, for example, to start the new team by splitting from the older one, which
I
worked better.
sorry to interrupt here. I have a question. You had this great strategy of hiring the right folks by creating that awareness. So you start this community aspect, right?
Yeah.
So from there to hiring more people, you were like, it seems that at that stage, hiring becomes the highest priority, right? You want to scale, you want to grow, and everything is going on. At that moment, when you are hiring, new people are coming in, the time period of onboarding somebody easily, like if we talk broadly, takes 8 to 10 months to somebody to actually show you something productive coming out, because the person would come in, gain the context, and then be familiar with things that are going around. So then at least it takes 8 months for somebody to come out and deliver something. And in a stage where you are fast growing, how did you manage to deliver alongside hiring such folks and training them faster if you were doing that?
I understand the question. First point was that we were focusing on experienced people. So let's say seniors, because usually they are able to be onboarded faster.
Faster,
So
yeah.
So, for example, in my experience, how we did it when someone senior joined the team, the first month, okay, setuping everything. But we are in startup, we don't need a lot of permission, so it's very quick. This is your laptop, exercise. Then we have, I think, 1 or 2 weeks general onboarding to the product, to the company, everything. And then after 1 month, I was like, okay, guys, what I expect that you will do the first small release to the production. Because we are a web application, we can release very quickly. We are using common tech stack for the web. It's TypeScript, Node.js, React, or Angular. And when we hire people who are proficient in those technologies, this was great. And we are not using some internal special frameworks or something, to figure out
Yeah.
how it works. And also we have very, very light processes. So even when we hired, for example, Java engineer, after 3 months, they will be ready to code, ship, deliver.
Oh,
So
that's great.
but the best guys in 1 month they did the first release, so it was very quick. But we were focused on seniors. Then there was a question: okay, what about the juniors? It is because it's you cannot hire only on that end.
Right.
And what I really like, we started internship program, which really makes sense. So we decided to do 3 months summer internship for full time and paid internship. Usually 4 or 5 people join, and then if they decided to continue part time, it was really great. We were focusing on university students, of course, and it was very great way how to find very, very good junior people who are on top level, I would say. So I can recommend the internship program also for others. It is working for us very well.
Yeah, I think hiring the expert folks, having your tech stack pretty common and simple and sorted, having least number of processes, having the automation in right places can really accelerate that process of onboarding. And hence, when you're hiring someone who is good, you can get the productivity as fast as possible, right? So
Yeah.
That really worked well for you there. So I think that's a good piece of advice to keep such things in mind when we are proceeding to scale, at least at that point when you are navigating towards two different goals. One is, of course, bringing in people and then training them and hiring them, and at the same time delivery. This could work out really well. And I think the point which you started, that also seemed very interesting. Like you said, we thought of not hiring people and putting them into new teams. We just branched out new teams from the existing teams itself. So this seems to be a very interesting strategy. I think you were just continuing on that. So love to hear more.
Yeah, because what we realize when we start thinking from the scratch, they came with some culture or habits from previous companies, and they started to replicate this thing because they didn't have, let's say, experience from our teams, our culture, and way of work. And at the end, we realized that this is not the best, and maybe it is more clever to, for example, we have a good team, we can hire a little bit more people there, and then split them. It's also easier also for the team and to keep the culture this way. If you already work in the good team and you understand how we work, what are the habits, what are the things, what is important for us, you can easily continue through. This is the, let's say, mechanics how it works for us. I think it's better, at least
Yeah, of
in
course.
more practice.
No,
But of course,
definitely.
sometimes you need to start from the scratch if you do not have, let's say, the skills, technology, or you started with something really new. So you
Yeah, of
cannot
course.
replicate it for everything. But let's say if you would like to have the new team with the same tech stack and the same culture, this is the better way from my point of view.
Definitely. Even I agree to that point. All right. I think apart from this, when you scaled up, and I'm just going back to that piece where the company got acquired, the way you were operating at Slido and now working as an engineering leader with Cisco, how things have changed. Like, give me some examples like, okay, this is how we used to do here, and now things have changed for the better, or maybe for a little worse here.
Yeah, of course, something changed. The thing is that we joined a very big company, corporation, and also corporation focus on security, definitely. So what definitely changed that we had to implement more certifications around the ISO 9000, 27000, and also another American certification for software development, security, and quality. This was kind of challenging for us because we didn't want to sacrifice, let's say, our way of work, but we had to change some processes, of course. But we didn't want to slow down our, let's say, release process and our possibility to be fast. Therefore, we had to implement a lot of automation, and we had a lot of discussion with the experts in this certification how to do it, that it is compliant and it is okay from a security point of view or quality point of view. But we had to do some sacrifices, I would say. So it is not the same as before. But on one side, we are shipping more secure products, so it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, on other hand, we join Cisco as a business unit, so they didn't change the way how we are organized, how our team works, and Slido is still continuing like standalone offer. So also Slido brand still exists. Also, this is kind of different. So they didn't swallow us, I would say,
Mhm.
but we are still living as a Slido, which is kind of nice, and
Yeah.
therefore we are keeping some autonomy, which is good for us in some extent that we can continue working, let's say, the way we consider the best for the Slido. On the other hand, as I mentioned, Cisco brought to us more focus on security and quality, of course, because this company requires high levels of that and more opportunities in, let's say, integration integration way. So we started with integration with the WebEx, of course, because
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
this is difficult tool, but then we continue with integrations with also other video tooling. But on this cooperation with WebEx teams give us a lot of experience how to do it right way, and so on and so on. So, and of course, they give us the opportunity to reach a broader audience, especially in an enterprise environment where usually the startups are not, let's say, uh, preferred, or
Yeah, yeah, of
startup
course.
products are not preferred. Usually, corporations would like to buy tools which are strong with the maintenance and all the certification and all the stuff.
There is one more important thing that I just felt like when you were building Slido and you were an independent company, the level of impact you would have felt that you're creating with the product that you're rolling out and then integrating with the tool like WebEx and then reaching out to like millions of users, right? So that changes the overall feel of how you're building it, how you're doing it. So I think that must have been a good experience.
Yeah, this is definitely the positive thing that we were able to to put Slido to the hands of the enterprise users like the WebEx or another integration. So this was definitely very positive. We were able to do it because otherwise probably we would not go this direction.
Of
Definitely.
course. I mean, even if you reach to so many people, it would have taken few years to reach there, right? So
Yeah.
that's a good jump there. Cool. I think that's interesting. And now the last piece that I just wanted to understand here, when you're operating with 50 developers with you, I am sure being an empathetic leader, you're trying to understand every aspect of your developer who is part of the team. But how do you exactly measure their overall excellence? How good they are doing? How do you measure their work? How you measure their achievements is what I want to understand from
Mhm. So what is most important for us is product itself at the end and value we are bringing to our customers. So, for example, if we build something in the time in high quality, very secure, but nobody is using it, at the end it is failure. Even yeah, we did good engineering job, but if it is not working for our customers, we will scratch it or discard it, or it will be on the part of the product. So at the end, it's this cooperation with the product is very important for us because we are a product company. And also, my evaluation of what we are doing is connected with this. That at the end, when we're doing and delivering something, we believe, of course, that the product did their job and they they suggested a good feature or product to build. But this is still a very important part of, let's say, also evaluation of what we are doing in engineering. If at the end, what we build is used and it is built the way that people can use it is. So in this case, the second important thing for us is quality and usability, which is a reflect, for example, net promoter score or statistics like this. So you can you want to measure that this delivers something that it is a good idea from the product side, but it also on the other hand it is delivered with good quality because we have experience if there is some big bug in the product, our NPS is going down next
down.
week.
Yep. Yep.
It's very connected. It's very connected, and for us it's very important metrics. So it's NPS. Then of course what we evaluating is the quality by measuring, for example, the total number of bugs or trends. So if we are able to keep it in the let's say a reasonable level. So we have kind of zero, medium, plus bugs policy, so we are okay to have small hiccups in the product, and we are okay with it. But we would like to fix, let's say, medium bugs as soon as possible. So this is important for us. Then for us, it's important the deployment pace that our CI/CD and all this our continuous integration release process is fast, so there is no problem that test automation is working well. So we are measure weekly deployment strength, and again, if we see that there is some problems or developers are complaining that something is taking too much or tests are unstable, we would like to very quickly fix it and address it, because this is very important for, let's say, developers experience. If you have A class people in the team, they just want to release it.
Yeah.
They don't want to wait. They don't looking for
And reviews or anything.
some excuses why they want to push it, and they want to see their work outside. So this is very important for us.
I think this brings me to one important point. Like you said, you look at the bug rate and like you have this policy. Like as soon as there is a medium severity bug out there, you have to like, resolve it as soon as possible. See, these things ultimately tell you that okay, this is the problem. Like this is a symptom kind of a thing, right? But at the end, when you have to drill down and understand what is the core, like is it bad review process,
Yeah,
or is it the initial
excellent.
code quality not good, then how do you end up finding it, like of course you can go by the brute force method, but I'm just
Yeah,
curious to know like how you do it.
for more, let's say, some critical bugs or some high severity bugs, we are doing postmortems. It's usually a very interesting process. Usually takes 2-3 weeks. So if something happened, there is owner of the postmortem. So it, it is not about who is guilty or not. There is someone who is owner who is able to put it together, and it usually is investigation, because you need to check the log files. You need to talk to people what's happening. You need to check the Slack communication, and you put together, let's say, some scenario, what happened before, what happened during the incident, and you would like to evaluate more things, how we reacted, if our reaction was good or it was slow, because maybe we could do revert or we could fix it. And there is a lot of nuances you can evaluate it during our reaction to this bug or to this problem. And then, of course, there is some 5 whys, this typical why this happening, and why, and you asking yourself
Yeah,
more than 5 times to really find a
reach
good,
the point.
to find a root cause of what
Yeah,
really happened. And then you would like to suggest good, let's say, some short-term fixes, and maybe also some long-term, because you maybe need to just fix some code because there is a bug, but maybe also you need to fix process, or you need to fix some communication issues, you need to fix something else. Because sometimes some problems happen, but if you are able to react in seconds or minutes, it's perfect from some point of view. If you can improve from, let's say, reaction time in hours to minutes, it's also a good improvement. This is what I want to say. So for us, it's also improvement important. This time to detect the problem, and time to fix, of course. And if we are able to increase those decrease those times to minimum.
that makes perfect. Great, Lubo. This was really interesting, and when someone shares like these level of details, but with some examples, I think that's the best part, and I loved that while discussing this with you. So I'll surely love to have another round of discussion with you on other topics related to engineering channel sometime. But today, in the interest of time, I think we'll have to call this as short today. And thanks a lot once again for giving us this time and sharing your learnings and experiences with the community.
Okay. Thank you again for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. See you.
Bye bye.